so simple, the comfort of home. A ceramic bowl of the white and the steaming grain, a tiny mountain offered to the sorrow and the pain. In the center of the peak, a crater made of gold, a story of a childhood that is ancient and is old. I break the surface with a gentle wooden move, watching as the liquid starts to find the rhythmic groove. The amber yolk is flowing like a river of the sun. The restoration of the spirit has finally begun. It coats every kernel in a velvet kind of shade, the finest decoration that the kitchen ever made. A sprinkle of the salt and a drop of the dark soy, a recipe for a primitive and a long-forgotten joy. I lift the heavy spoon and I take the first bite, defeating every particle of the heavy city night. The texture is a cloud and the flavor is a hug, pulled from the silence like a cork from a jug. It's the food of the poets and the food of the kings, touching on the beauty of the very small of things. We don't need the fire and we don't need the spice when the salvation is found in a bowl of egg and rice. The warmth is in the throat and the warmth is in the chest as the frantic city energy is put to a rest. I am just a child again, safe inside the light, wrapped inside the blankets of the culinary night. Golden white, pure and bright, taste of years, dry the tears. Egg on rice, the symphony of the humble and the sweet, making the salvation in the moment so complete. A golden kind of magic in the middle of the dark, searching for a meaning and searching for a spark. I see my mother's hands in the movement of the chef, in a world that is noisy and a world that is deaf to the quiet requirements of the hungry human soul, giving back the spirit, the absolute and total control. The flavor is a bridge across the decades and the sea, connecting the adult with the ghost inside of me. It's honest and it's simple and it's unrefined and pure, the only universally and ever kind of cure. Maybe the soul is just a grain of the rice in the pot, waiting for the heat and the opportunity and thought of being transformed into something rich in gold before the story is eventually and finally told. The steam is like a memory that is written in the air, erasing every particle of the burden of despair. I feel a sense of lightness and I feel a sense of grace, suspended in the center of the solitary space. The bowl is getting empty but the feeling is full. I feel the gravity and the magnetic kind of pull of the happiness that hides in the center of the plane, transforming all the losses into a spiritual gain. The clarinet is crying with a beauty and a grin, where the victory and where the celebration began. Egg on rice is the anthem of the spirit and the mind, leaving all the trouble and the static far behind. Golden white, pure and bright, taste of years, dry the tears. Egg on rice, a symphony of the humble and the sweet, making the salvation in the moment so complete. A golden kind of magic in the middle of the dark, searching for a meaning and searching for a spark. Golden grain, heal the pain. absolutely nowhere for the gratitude to hide. The midnight diner is a sanctuary made of sound, where the true and silent essence of the soul is found. I take a final look at the golden stained bowl, feeling the recovery of the absolute and total soul. The simplicity is holy and the simplicity is wide, allowing all the vanity to eventually subside. So thank you for the rice and thank you for the egg. I don't need a favor and I don't need to beg for a meaning in the universe or a meaning in the light. I found it in the center of the culinary night. I walk back to the street with the fire in the bone, feeling less like a stranger and feeling less alone. Egg on rice is the only thing I really need, a spiritual and a golden and a simple kind of creed. Gold.